Good evening.
Good morning.
Good afternoon.
And welcome back to the 1313 podcast. I'm Jacob.
I'm Jackson.
I'm Tommy.
Welcome back, all you Regs, and to all you Shinies. Welcome to the podcast. This is the 1313 podcast.
Okay, hold on. Why do we say this is the podcast? Because I've been listening to this a couple times.
Because it's the most mediocre podcast in the Star Wars universe. We have to let you know this is the podcast.
Okay.
This isn't just a trailer. This isn't just some sitcom.
All right. No, that literally went over my head every single time. I'm sorry.
All right, time to restart the
A lot
recording.
of things go over your head, Jackson.
No, it isn't.
A lot of things go over your head.
Like planes.
And birds.
Facts.
And
though.
clouds.
All right, let's get right into it, though.
And gale force winds.
We have some housekeeping.
And a lot of stuff this week to talk about.
Holy crap, this is an action-packed, fun, content-filled episode.
It will be for sure.
It will be very long. Very much stuff to talk about.
Jacob, please don't.
What? I'm speaking with the funny voice. Anyway, housekeeping on today's podcast. Join the Discord.
Yes.
If you haven't joined the Discord, simply what are you doing? Just join it.
It's
a lot
quite
of
fun.
We have a blast.
We really do. Play Battlefront with us, chat to us. It's literally active every single day.
You'll
and I will
literally
stand to that. It has been active every day.
Every single day we post a new picture of our of a figure of the day. We just choose a Black Series figure in our collections, and then we just post a picture of it because why not? Give some appreciation to your collection.
You'll know about stuff that's gonna be on the podcast before it even hits the podcast.
Mm-hmm. That's facts.
So you can feel like you're in the know.
Also, you could just joke around and have some good old tomfoolery within the Discord.
Ah, yes, jolly good show.
Oh yes, exquisite.
So, with that out of the way,
Yes.
let's talk some Star Wars news. Holy crap! There's a lot of Star Wars news to talk about this week.
There's a little bit, quite a bit.
First and foremost, earlier this week, it must have been like Tuesday or Wednesday, we got a trailer for the Book of Boba Fett.
Yes.
This kind of came out of left field for me because I thought that this trailer wasn't going to show up till Disney Plus Day later this month.
I was hearing whispers and rumors within TikTok, actually.
Yes, me too.
And I didn't believe it. And then they're like, we're going to get a Book of Boba trailer today. And I was like, I believe it when I see it. And then I think it was, who was it? Was it Figure Brian, or was it Luke Monster? Somebody texted the Discord and said, hey, did y'all see the Book of Boba trailer?
It was Ben Taylor.
It was
actually.
Ben Taylor. Shout out to Ben Taylor.
He's on top of it, man.
Because I saw that in the middle of my class. I went, and I watched it 3 times in a row.
I couldn't watch it because I was in class, so I had to wait with anticipation.
I think I watched it twice or 3 times.
I've
now.
watched it twice.
I've watched it like about 5 times
And
now.
I'll tell you right off the bat, like, my love for Star Wars is really, it's getting emotional now. Because the second the trailer started, my eyes welled up and I was like smiling so big from ear to ear. The Omar Monk showing up right at the beginning. That was super cool.
Can't wait to get that in the Black Series.
Can't wait to get that as a stretch goal for the Rancor.
Hopefully.
We called it now. If you're watching this, you owe us $5 each.
Yep.
But yeah, the Omar Monk, I do want to talk a little bit about a couple things that I mentioned, but do you guys want to talk about anything about the trailer real quick?
I want to... What's that species? I can't remember. Is it Ithorian?
Ithorian.
Yeah.
That Ithorian...
Ithorians, 4 throats, quite powerful.
There's no way that Ithorian wasn't voiced by Pedro Pascal. I thought it was the Mandalorian when I first heard it.
You know, that might have been the way that they got people, because you know how there have been like leaks, quote unquote, saying, oh, Din Djarin is going to be in the Book of Boba Fett. Din Djarin is going to be in the Book of Boba Fett because Pedro Pascal is like in part of it. It would make sense if Pedro Pascal voiced
an Ithorian, or at least separate characters.
He seems like he's being set up to be the main antagonist.
That would be cool.
That would be interesting.
They changed up Boba Fett's helmet.
That's what I was going to bring
They just
up.
put
Yeah.
more dings in it.
No,
and
they
then
slimmed it. They slimmed it.
See that.
So I was watching the trailer, and on my second viewing, I was sitting there like, something is like visually, like I could see something wasn't right. And I was like, what is it? And I couldn't put my finger on it. And then I looked up a picture of Boba Fett from The Empire Strikes Back. And I was like, oh my God. Like, this is a different style of helmet. But I think that it's done intentionally to match the more slim design of all the Mandalorian helmets in the Mandalorian show. I think that this is not not really a retcon, but more of like a this is how the helmets are going to look going forward type thing.
I mean, I'm fine with that too.
Me too.
They could even just say he redid his helmet.
Yeah.
He could have just because it makes more sense, especially now that we're seeing doing more like hand-to-hand combat with a helmet that's wide. It would be like dinging like a bell on his head. So it has to be slimmed down so that way it fits more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I like the helmet, honestly, and I like that he has a new coloring for his armor again. It's kind of a mix between what we saw in The Mandalorian and what we saw in the original trilogy.
I did see a little bit of that. Yeah, some of the colors did change, which no complaints.
Oh,
I think
I'm not upset.
I think it looks even better now.
It's like an olive green now, I want to say. It's a very like subdued green, and I'm not upset about
I
it.
liked how it looked in The Mandalorian, don't get me wrong, with that super just dark and rich green, but now that they're I feel like it's lightening up because that's how it's showing passage of time.
Yeah.
I think it's because it's just its new coat of paint. It's gonna look super fresh, but you give it like a couple months, it's gonna lighten up.
I like the line about where Boba says something about mutually beneficial. Mm-hmm. That was pretty funny.
I like
that was a Jabba reference right there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I like the part where it was like Jabba ruled with fear. I intend to rule with respect. That's super cool.
It's definitely showing the change in Boba's character
I
from
agree.
Return of the Jedi to The Mandalorian.
He's definitely matured too.
He's a man now.
He's had some time to think in that Sarlacc pit, and now he knows how to be a man.
Half digested.
He took some time in that Peloponnesian spa.
I saw someone on the internet somewhere saying something about how they didn't like the way that Boba Fett looked and they didn't think it was right or whatever. And then my immediate thought was like, well, yeah, he was literally partially digested by a giant sand creature. Like, yeah you're going to get a little bit deformed and you're going to get a little bit messed up if you get digested.
It's definitely fair.
I think it's a bit odd. We see in almost every single scene in the trailer, Boba Fett doesn't have his helmet on. So it just seems like he's just accustomed to taking it off a lot now.
Yeah, I think honestly they're trying to push that as well, that's also a change in his character.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
It's not like Mando where all you know is the Mandalorian for the helmet.
Yeah.
You know, they're trying to incorporate the face of Tamir Morrison as Boba Fett.
This show is for you to know, Boba Fett.
Yep.
And again, there's a reason that in The Mandalorian, it's in the very same episode that we hear the Mandalorian get called Din Djarin for the first time, that we see his face for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's fitting, though, because it's supposed to... If they left the helmet on the entire time, it would be The Mandalorian Season 2.5. It really would.
People are already calling the show The Mandalorian Season 2.5.
Well, if they kept the helmet on the entire time, that's what I really think it would be. Just because it would be kind of like the same format. It's just the unmasked Western hero kind of villain-ish. Where that's not what Boba Fett is. He needs to be portrayed differently. And it has to be visually different.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
and
that way
it certainly is not taking away from the badass that is Boba Fett. You could see in the hand-to-hand combat scenes that Maori fighting style that he adopted in the show being implemented once again into this show, and I think that a lot of that comes from the fact that it's being directed by Robert Rodriguez.
Yes, phenomenal director.
Dude,
Yep.
The way he shot the episode in The Mandalorian was phenomenal. It was so different. It was so cool. It kept me so visually engaged.
I gotta watch it now.
It's because of how different it was compared to anything that you've seen in Star Wars. Because in Star Wars you get like OT, you get static shots and like sweeping shots, and like the prequel you get like more just kind of like close up and personal shots with characters, so that way it's like you can get those nice CG backgrounds. And then in the sequels you had like very big and broad shots because they had the technology and they could do it and it would still look good. So now there's like they're taking like almost an anime feel to the type of shots that they're doing because it's visually interesting and it's different. So there's like different camera pannings and movements. It's just I love it.
I gotta say that the city, when him and Fennec are in this one scene of the trailer, they're flying into that city, it reminded me of a place on either Ryloth or Jeddah. The way that the city was kind of in a crater.
Okay.
If you remember from Season 1 of the Clone Wars, when Commander Pons watches the hyena bombers bomb that village, it's in a crater of sorts. So I think that either planet could go, but I'm kind of with Jacob where I'm leaning toward Jeddah.
That would definitely, like, where the Death Star, like, struck it.
That would be cool.
That would be super.
I feel
cool
like
to
the
see
crater
that.
would be bigger.
The creator would be save the dream.
No.
Saw Gerrera,
Wait,
man.
did the entirety of... No, it was just the city.
The city was destroyed, but
Yeah.
then like the debris destroyed Saw Gerrera's hideout too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely feel like from watching the trailer as well. I mean, just like from start to finish, I was like, I know this is going to be good though.
Mhm.
Like I'm very happy with every single aspect of it. I have absolutely literally no complaints about the Book of Boba at all.
I was
just
talking to
100% excited.
our good friend Luke
Mhm.
about it, and he said that at first he watched it and he was like, well, that didn't show too much, and he was like, well, then again, neither did the Mandalorian trailer, and look how that turned out, you know? So I
Exactly.
think that's kind of the direction they're headed.
And
I think it's the best way to do it. You just tease the first little bit of it, and then you let the rest of the story unfold.
Let the
Yep.
story tell itself.
less is
Yes.
more. And then when The Mandalorian was out and like it finished and they had those more developed trailers like for season 2, how they have Bo-Katan now in it and Ahsoka.
Yep.
That is appropriate.
Don't give it all away.
Yeah,
Don't give it
exactly.
all away.
Because that's what every movie will do. And Marvel finally caught on to that because now they practically lie in their trailers about what's in the movie and just put stuff in.
Yeah, they do. They do completely different shots for their
Like-
trailers.
As cool as the episode 9 trailer was, hearing Palpatine's laugh, imagine how much more of a shock it would have been to have Kylo travel from Mustafar to Exegol, and you just hear Palpatine's voice, and you're like, what's going on? What's going on? That would have been a crazy reaction.
I agree.
Trailers make or break a movie a lot of times.
I feel
No,
like
I agree.
I feel like they really had to add that Palpatine laugh in that trailer though, because so many people were mad about The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
They needed something to reel you back in.
They really did, yeah.
So that was kind of that was their trap card. They needed it. I think.
now I play my trap card and attack your life points directly.
Yu-Gi-Oh.
I placed my trap card right set up. Pot of Greed.
Now I play Pot of Greed. Over and over and over.
I love Yu-Gi-Oh!
I've barely watched it. I
Never got
remember
into it.
I used to watch Yu-Gi-Oh! XD.
I was too busy
Or
watching
was it
Sonic
XDs?
X.
Or was it Yu-Gi-Oh! XDs or something like that? But
I was too busy watching Sonic X like a cool kid.
Yes.
Sonic X.
Dude, I was like in 3rd and
We had
4th
a
grade in
Sonic
that age.
phase.
I had a really bad Sonic
I
phase.
saw the picture of you with your chalk drawing of Sonic.
I'll email it to you. Put up on the screen right now. Picture of 5th grade Jacob next to his sidewalk chalk Sonic.
Or if you didn't do it, then you won't see anything.
Or yeah, I'll just probably forget.
Or you'll just see a clown face over Jacob right now.
Go.
Anyway,
So I think that about wraps up. I mean, for me, it wraps up my thoughts on the Book of Boba trailer.
That's fine with me.
I'm very excited
Very
for the
excited.
show.
Yep.
The hype is way up here, baby.
Yep.
Yeah,
and,
baby.
and we got like a month, like 2 months to it.
No.
Isn't it
December
crazy to
29th.
think December is like 7 weeks away? Like
Dude,
the
I
end of
literally can't
December.
even
Christmas
think
is
about
like
it.
7 weeks away.
How the frick is it November? Why is it almost
Okay,
the middle of
My
November?
father texted me, remember the 5th of November yesterday. And I never answered it. And I knew it sounded familiar, but I couldn't pinpoint why. So if anyone knows why.
Let me Google it.
I tried.
Well, you're Googling that. I'll kind of transition.
Yeah.
So the trailer with the Book of Boba kind of ended up leading into what was going to be Bring Home the Bounty.
Yeah, so
for
the
this
trailer
week.
came out Monday then. Because,
Yes, no, it did.
yeah.
Because I was kind of thinking about that, and I was like, wasn't it the beginning of the week? Because I was like, I remember Monday being pretty good. But yeah, so that was on Monday. So with Bring Home the Bounty as well, it was literally just all Book of Boba themed stuff. Heroes vs. Villains, who we've talked about before on the podcast, has a lot of good merch for the Book of Boba. Definitely might end up getting some of that. That
At
looks
some
really,
point,
really
I
good.
mean, I already have a long sleeve Book of Boba Fett shirt. I've worn it for the podcast. Like, so I feel like that satisfies. I have so much Mando merch. I feel like
know.
if Boba Fett reaches that same level of interest for me as Mando does, then I will end up having a ton of Book of Boba Fett merch.
I definitely want the quote where it's like, I'm a simple man just trying to make my way in the galaxy. Like, that was like,
What?
November 5th was Watergate.
I'm not a crook. You want the American people.
I don't know why that was so funny to me.
Because it was just so random.
Oh my god.
I remember watching the movie on Netflix too about that.
Okay.
It was really interesting.
Whew, oh my
that's
god.
really funny.
There's a lot of for the Bring Home the Bounty. There's a lot of Heroes and Villains merch.
Yes.
We all are big fans of Heroes and Villains over here at the
That's what I
podcast.
said.
Hey, look, I'm wearing their hoodie and their hat.
I don't have any merch on.
Heroes
right
vs. Villains, sponsor us, please.
Heroes vs. Villains, if you ever see this in any shape or form, please make Visions merch and please make Lope merch specifically. I will buy it all. Please. I beg you.
Can we kick Jackson off the podcast?
Y'all can't do me like this.
That was our one chance to get sponsored by Heroes vs. Villains, and you asked for Lope merch. This was our one chance, and you
Jackson
you
said,
blew it.
Jackson said, "Bro, please, body pillow, please."
He said, "Boom, boom, boom. I need that.
I need to get that, sir.
I'm gonna need that! Boom, boom.
I think that the standout items for this week's Bring Home the Bounty was we finally got in package physical images of the Walmart exclusive Genndy Tartakovsky 2003 Clone Wars figures.
In the original packaging.
And I want to go through these one by one.
Why?
Now, would you prefer that I... Yeah, right, guys. I'll see you later. Have a good weekend,
I'm
everybody.
sorry.
We'll see you on
Tom, come
Thursday.
back.
See you.
Tom, come back.
Oh, you sure?
No.
Yes.
You,
I'm
no, you can
sure.
go.
Sure about that?
You can go.
Are you sure about
Anyway,
What do you mean by that?
he can leave. Anyway.
I just wanted to talk about them because it's like one of my
No,
favorite
no.
series in Star Wars.
Calm down,
You
calm
ding
down.
dong.
It was a joke.
Yeah? Yeah? Stay over there.
Just like Lope is a joke.
Anyway, Lope is not a joke.
My Lope stuff is a joke.
No, bro. We all know that that's your waifu.
You're,
Waifu for lifeu.
I mean,
All right, so the Mace Windu figure is exactly what I wanted the Mace Windu figure to be. My biggest concern with the Mace Windu figure was gonna be
His head's not long enough.
if he didn't have the Grim Reaper head from Billy and Mandy.
boom.
Insert the Undertaker bell. Boom.
We need to get a soundboard for the podcast to figure out how we can do one.
with all the SpongeBob sound effects we always do, that woo.
Or like the Undertaker bell, or what do you mean by that?
What do you mean by that?
I'll look into that.
Let's start a Patreon so that way we can pay for the Undertaker bell soundboard.
The copyright. But yeah, the Mace Windu, my biggest concern was that the cloak was going to be over the armor as a separate piece and not under the armor. Dude, it looks so perfect. I literally have no complaints about it. And again, the Blacks, I saw a lot of people were complaining they're not stylized. We all know the Black Series is realistic interpretations sometimes, unless it's Clone Wars related figures.
Which really is whatever, in my opinion.
Same, I'm over it. But the Mace Windu looked great. I couldn't complain at all about him. The Grievous looks awesome.
I
the
agree.
way that they did that metallic blue with the bone white
Yes.
looks awesome. And the fact that the cape...
That's bone.
Are you good, bro?
No, he gets it.
Shout out to anyone... I'm going to unlock a memory. Shout out to anyone who remembers the Bone graphic novels.
Hey, yo.
Does anyone...
Yo. I remember those.
I read those religiously when I
think
was young.
I don't have one, but I used to.
You would
I
buy them at
remember reading
Ollie's.
one.
I bought mine at Ollie's.
I got mine from the school library.
Yeah, Bone. It was... I loved that stuff, man. I don't remember anything about it. I just remember I
Was
loved it.
the blue almost like a see-through for Grievous?
No, it was like it had like a metallic, like almost sparkly finish to
Okay.
it.
It was
That
like
makes
it
sense.
kind of looked. It's a lighter version of the sand blue on the Bad Batch shuttle, kind of.
Okay.
It's
so
like
that's-
like a baby blue.
Alright, I
Um,
couldn't tell.
I'm glad I got 2 of each because I'm gonna want to open them all, but I'm also gonna want to Grievous. I am not a fan of the Grievous body. That is a common complaint with Black Series collectors. Maybe the designers like tightened some of the joints or like
Maybe.
changed some joints to be like ratcheted now instead of like smooth joints.
I mean, they
We'll
took a
have
couple
them on the
months
show
just to.
eventually.
They took them a couple months just to. If they were to just paint it, I feel like that's dumb. They should have updated it. They
Yeah,
should have.
but the cape is also different than the original one. It's 1 layer of fabric instead of 2 or 3.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be nice and like flowy instead of being super thick on his neck now. But my favorite one, I think, is the Captain Fordo figure,
Yep.
which actually is not called Captain Fordo
Just
on the packaging.
Clone Commander.
Phase 1 ARC Trooper, I think is what it's called, or
Which-
something like that.
Okay, they're calling it Phase 1 ARC Trooper, but it's Fordo.
But guess what?
Everybody knows that it is.
Oh my
so I
God.
feel like there should be absolutely no complaints to saying that they never made Fordo in the Black Series. Like,
Yes.
this is literally Fordo.
The one thing I will say too is in the show itself, he's never called Captain Fordo.
No,
He's actually mentioned as Commander multiple times in the show
Commander.
by Obi-Wan.
Yeah,
So-
and then they call them ARC Troopers
Yeah.
as well. They never call them by name.
You are ARC
So
Troopers.
I feel like by
you
doing
are
that,
the elite
it pays
of the elite.
homage to
ARC Troopers, you are the elite. You all know what to do. Send word as planned, and then I will join you. Wow.
No, but it pays homage to Tartakovsky, I feel like, by doing that.
It does, and I like, oh my gosh, I didn't think I would like it at first glance, but the way that they did the Echo mold for an ARC Trooper figure on a Phase 1 clone,
Yes.
and oh my gosh, if you went, oh, the ammo pouch is on the wrong side, he has too many pockets on his skirt, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, shut up. Get the figure, and I will buy it off you if you don't like it that much.
Facts. Stop complaining about it because they're going to
Because,
complain and they're going to buy it.
You know what I'm honestly going to do? If I get my hands on any extras of that figure, I'm going to paint one blue or two blue and make them
Custom.
the lieutenants that hang out with him and find some custom ARC Trooper blasters from that show, or like one of the rocket launchers or something. And I'm going to get that. But again, just to wrap that up, I am so happy. The packaging looks amazing.
Yes.
I have zero complaints about any of the figures, and I am so grateful that they will look uniform with the rest of my Clone Wars show.
Yes.
I really hope that the pre-orders for that are done just like that we had for the Walmart Bad Batch figures, where they fulfill the pre-orders first rather than put in the stores. Because then if that's the case, I feel like, Tom, I'm sorry you didn't get the figures. I really hope you do. But I feel like if they do that, then there will be another chance to get the figures. Because then, I'm not trying to be that guy, but then literally all you need to do is wake up at 4 and 6 every morning.
Just think about what you just said. All you need to do is just wake up at 4 a.m. and 6 a.m.
All you
every
have to
morning.
do is alter your lifestyle.
No, because here's what happened.
Severely
too.
cripple your sleeping schedule.
Because I was up on
For
Friday
plastic.
at 5 for PT, and I got a notification on my phone that Rampart and the Coruscant Trooper went up, and so I bought more Coruscant Troopers to do the Lucanus Monster Custom, which you guys will see next week. If you haven't seen Lucanus's video on the Coruscant Guard custom figure, check it out for sure. Because literally all you need to do is just put it in hot water, pop off the helmet, and then literally the pauldron will come off, and then you have a regular Coruscant Guard Trooper, which I think that's a perfect idea because I don't think at this point they're gonna make a regular Coruscant Guard.
I mean, they might,
They might, just because of how easy it would be just to pop the pauldron
but
off.
then again, there are so many figures that would be so easy, and we don't see those.
Exactly.
Well, no,
that's
the only
point
reason
as
why I
well.
think they will do it is because they don't have to repaint it. They don't have to repackage it.
But
they
then
just have
that's
to
the
take
thing,
the
too.
thing off.
If that's the case, then I won't need to buy the next figure because that one has the updated joints. for
But the
neck and
boxes are
everything else.
different.
Don't say that. I'll buy another one.
So I think that about wraps up my spiel about those figures.
Yeah.
And-
Also, just so y'all know, the pre-orders sold out months ago and are not coming back up. You have to get it in store now or get it resold. That sucks.
or online when they come out.
Yeah,
when
there
the figures
will be a
release.
restock at some point. They did it for the Bad Batch stuff, and they've done it historically for every single Walmart wave.
Just get lucky.
It
Just gotta
happens
get
with every
lucky.
Exclusive.
So, I think the last thing that we have to talk about right now is that Disney Plus Day is on
Yes.
its way.
That is
What day of the week was that?
Friday, November 12th.
Got it. So next week.
What time of day?
Probably at night, because that's when
Yeah,
they did it
that's
last
when it was
time.
Last time.
Expect us to be live streaming it. I'm just saying.
Okay, you do want to live?
I
it?
do want to live it if,
Dude,
if we
fine.
can. If we can.
We'll try to do it here. I feel like that'd be awesome.
It'd be cool.
That would be kind of nice.
But yeah, I am super excited. Kathleen Kennedy did say that we are going to be having, very similarly to last year's presentation, we're going to get updates on all of the existing projects that got announced last year,
Perfect.
all the works in progress, and there's going to be a whole new slate of new projects announced as well. So that makes me super excited. Star Wars, it is the best time ever to be a Star Wars fan right now, and the franchise is booming, it is thriving, and give me more content. That's
This
all I
is
have
the
to say.
perfect time to be. We are born in the right generation to be a Star Wars fan. I feel like.
Yep. All this, I wish I was born in the 90s. I wish I was born in the 80s. Just
Nope.
become a Star Wars fan.
And then you'll
love
be
life
happy.
so much more.
Facts.
So, predictions for Disney Plus Day. Do y'all have any? We have heard rumors of a Crimson Dawn Darth Maul based series that would be animated.
That'd be cool.
I
would
would
be
like
cool.
that. I feel like there's too
Those
many
are rumors too.
Yes, they are a bunch of rumors, but I
Take
feel
those
like
with a grain of salt.
Yes.
there are too many floating around for right now for I think
I
for it
agree.
to be not true.
Here's what I feel like as well. I will predict that we will get a Star Wars themed show maybe for next year and even the year after that they never mentioned beforehand because they never talked about Bad Batch Season 2 and they're like, oh, Bad Batch Season 2 is coming out in the summer of next year.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So that was unexpected, but again, it wasn't revealed intentionally.
I think
So what are they also going to hide from us?
Yeah.
I think mostly what we're gonna get throughout the presentation, I think we're gonna get a snippet for Andor. Like
Kenobi.
I feel like we're only gonna get a poster for Kenobi.
If we only get a poster, that's fine. If we got a trailer, I feel like that is the most I could ever ask for.
Yes, I'm all I'm asking for Kenobi is a poster.
I think that
We
it
talk
is.
about it.
I think it's more than likely that we'll get some sort of like poster or trailer for Obi-Wan or for Kenobi and or Andor,
Yep.
because those are both finished filming a couple
Yes.
months ago. So they're already into the editing phase. I'm sure that they are already getting cranking out some sort of teaser trailer or something. And I think that that's probably the most likely prediction I could give.
I agree.
But I'm excited. I'm
Yep.
really excited.
It's gonna be.
Gonna go
If
into
it's
it with
anything
an
like
open
last
mind.
year's, I do want to hear some more news. I hope that there's an announcement for a movie or a TV show, something High Republic related other than the Alkalite.
agree.
I'm really
I
hoping
forgot
because
to mention that. Yeah.
there's too many things coming out where it's shows based on a character because we have Book of Boba, maybe a Darth Maul show, an Ahsoka show, Andor, Kenobi. I'm like, can we get some new stories? Like, don't get me wrong, I would be happy with everything that they give us, but it's like they're just using I feel like they're just using the characters that we already know and love as a safe space first and give people things that they really want before they start venturing into new territory.
I think that using safer
fair.
characters is also a way for them to gauge the interest in Star Wars as TV rather than Star Wars as movies.
That
Yes.
is true. Because then you can do things that you can't do in movies.
You have so much more time in
Exactly.
a season of a TV show, even like a 6-episode show, to flesh out a character and a story than you do in a movie. And with a movie, it's like, that's it. It's done. That's what you get. If you like it, you like it. If you didn't, you didn't. With TV shows, it's much more like, oh, well, people liked this and they didn't like this. Well, in the following season, we'll be sure to give them more of this and less of this.
Yes.
Okay, I just thought of this too. But what if now what we see before? So like, what if Disney Plus was at the capacity it was right now, and they were gonna release Rise of Skywalker? Do you think that in the future that we could see a show that leads up to the movie?
Yes.
I feel like
because
would be
there's that whole book that they could use.
Exactly.
Well-
What if, like, instead of before Rise of Skywalker with the book, it was a show that filled in all those details? I feel like that would be because then you'll go into the movie, and then they won't need to do as much backstory and explaining.
Well, because here's the other thing. I know that a lot of people had complaints with The Rise of Skywalker because there was not a lot of... there were a lot of things that, oh, well, I shouldn't have to read this book to understand this or whatever. First of all, disclaimer aside, like, this is just a disclaimer.
Yep.
There are tons of things in all different Star Wars movies from the beginning that you would have needed some outside context to explain
exactly.
for you to understand it better. In my opinion, the Rise of the Resistance book, or Resistance Reborn, my
Yep.
bad. The Resistance Reborn book was a phenomenal read, and it really helped me to get hyped going into episode 9. But that's also a valid argument that, you shouldn't have to watch
Some people
stuff.
are illiterate.
Some of you
You
have
can't
the
say
inability
that.
to read, such as Mr. 3PO Fyok at the end of the table here.
Dude, I have so much of the reading I'm doing right now.
I bet it's an audiobook.
It
Because
is.
you can't read. We're not making fun of illiterate people. We're just making fun of Jackson for being illiterate.
Trying to finish American Sniper first.
Anyways, but
He dies.
you're trying. You just can't read, so you're not. You're not.
You didn't hear the joke Jacob made, and I'm not even gonna repeat.
You probably
it.
did,
It probably picked up on the mic.
but it wasn't even a joke. He just gave the ending. Sorry.
Oops! Spoilers to the man's
Actually,
life.
Jacob.
I don't remember if it was American Sniper or if it was what was the book about? Is it Lone Survivor?
That's the one that you were telling me about because you keep getting it confused with American Sniper.
Yeah, it was one of those two books that was actually the book that made my father want to join Christianity.
Yes, you did tell me
So
that.
that book, it's one of the two. I know that I've read American Sniper.
That is a
Phenomenal book. But
Absolutely.
I do have to say that I think that it would be awesome, like all my argument aside about like, oh, like I shouldn't have to watch this or read this, blah, 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 before I go into the movie. I think that the announcement, they already said there was an announcement that Phase 1 of the High Republic was ending in January of this year.
It's not January yet.
I think that is a way for them to say Phase 2 is going to offer some sort of TV show
Yep.
or movie to further flesh out the established characters.
Aren't we supposed to get a Star Wars movie next year? Isn't that the Rogue Squadron?
Rogue Squadron is 2023.
Oh,
I'm excited for another movie.
I want.
I like TV shows a lot, but I want a movie.
Rogue Squadron is the next one, and then Taika Waititi has a Star Wars film.
Yep.
I'll
He's
literally-
writing it right now.
Yeah.
I actually, and this is controversial, but I am intrigued to see. There's been a long rumor going around since The Last Jedi came out, if or if not, Rian Johnson would get a trilogy of movies, because upon the release of The Last Jedi in 2017, it was said that Rian Johnson was going to get his own trilogy of Star Wars movies that were disconnected from any existing Star Wars characters.
Mm-hmm.
I think I would be intrigued to hear what that would be about, and if it came to be, would I like it to happen? Yes, I would, because I think he's a really, really good
I'm
storyteller. And because I think he's a really good storyteller, I think that a lot of problems that people had with The Last Jedi came from they didn't like his interpretation of characters that already existed in the universe. So I would really like to see him do a new story with characters that nobody knows anything about and see how he takes those characters.
No,
So-
because that's the other thing as well. Don't critique someone if they made one bad movie. Like, that doesn't define the rest of their career. I mean, I say bad movie because a lot of people interpret it as bad.
Well,
However,
yeah.
I'm taking the OT side here. I don't want it.
You don't want it?
No. Quite frankly, I don't want another trilogy, if I'm being honest.
well,
I mean,
the High
that's
Republic
fair.
is going to be another trilogy, so I feel like we're going to get a prequel before a prequel next. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I feel like
the problem with that though is that if we do another trilogy, it might tie into the Skywalker saga, and then they're gonna be like, oh, more Skywalker movies. I'm just afraid that that's gonna happen.
No.
They've been pretty explicit. I know.
because the Skywalker saga begins and ends with Anakin. I mean, it continues with Rey, technically. Sure.
I mean,
Well, we
like,
got to get the Shmi
there's
spin-off.
no
We got to
way
get the
that we can-
Shmi spin-off.
dude,
There's no way there would be a Skywalker in the High Republic. You know what I mean, though?
I think that would be my biggest dream show over anything right now. I would want to see a show post Episode 9 about Rey and Finn training as Jedi.
Yes, I would like to see.
I want to see John Boyega
Yeah.
in Star Wars as Finn as a Jedi.
Jedi.
Please
Because
and thank you.
I think the only reason why I think it might happen is because we all know why John Boyega was pushed to the side as a side character within the newer movies.
Yes.
And it was because of
China.
So, but with the new movie, Marvel's Eternals, they were not afraid to show opinions that those countries
Have you
didn't
seen
like.
that movie?
Yeah, but they
I
got
have not
banned
yet.
in those
I know they
countries.
got no, but that's the thing. They got banned, but Disney still wasn't afraid to push it out. So if they're not afraid to push out a movie that's not going to capture the audience of one of their biggest buyers,
True.
they're not going to be afraid to put John Boyega into the spotlight. So I'm hopeful for
I think
this.
that's like
a good
the
point.
way you put that. That is so American and so like inspiring that like, and I get it's like a big corporation,
Mm-hmm.
like whatever, you know, oh, I hate big business, whatever. But like, that was like, that is the American way. Is like, I don't care what other people think. I am going to make the thing that I think is inspiring and I think is a good story. And I think that a show about John Boyega will be an amazing show.
Yes.
It's not an if it will be an amazing show. I want a show with Rey and Finn.
Yes.
Training new Jedi and learning more about the Force themselves.
Because there's so much more to the Force than we know.
Yeah.
There's so much more.
Yeah.
I agree.
Especially with like new Force abilities being discovered within the last movie. There's so much more that we can learn from it. And if Rey is supposed to, in canon, if she's supposed to be one of the more powerful Jedi, I would like to see that fledged out, and I would like to see her connection to the Force and what she can really do. Because I feel like that would also help save the sequels. Because it will develop Rey as a character and make her more enjoyable.
Just looking historically at Star Wars.
Nobody liked Anakin until the Clone Wars.
Facts.
People and Star Wars fans will, a lot of times Star Wars fans are kind of blind to this. Star Wars TV shows really, really strengthen weaker aspects of Star Wars. And
Yes.
there are aspects of the sequel trilogy that are pretty weak. And so I think that a show like this would really help to strengthen. Because I think that it would just be cool to sit down with these characters. Because we don't know all that much about them. Now, I know more than the average fan because I read the books and stuff like that. So, like, what?
I know more than you, but that's okay.
I know that a lot of...
Because I'm sorry, I'm texting.
Wow,
I know
this
that-
man's texting on the podcast.
You do it all the time.
Get
This
this
man's
guy.
You
texting.
hide it behind my computer.
Texting on the podcast. He admitted to it. Put the cuffs on this man.
Put the cuffs on this man!
cuffs
Put
on
the cuffs on this man!
Anyway.
But yeah, I think just in short, like, I know a lot of people didn't read Resistance Reborn. If you haven't, I think you should. It's not that long of a read. I think the book's under 300 pages. I plowed through it in about a week, and I'm a very busy person too. So, like, it was engaging. It was cool. It had... Ryloth was a major player in that book, and I thought it was great. And I think it really helped me to enjoy episode 9 a lot more. But I think that about wraps up my predictions for
Yes.
Disney Plus Day.
I don't think I have anything further other than maybe just a couple announcements on production of like the Ahsoka show, maybe some new cast members that are going to be added, maybe like one
Live action Thrawn in makeup.
Bro, that'd be so nice.
I would decease. I would just simply decease.
I
If
would,
that happened,
I-
I would never ask for another thing from Disney again.
I would,
dude. I am so unbelievably happy that we may get a live. No, we're going to get a live
happening.
action. It's going.
Where is Grand Admiral Thrawn?
I feel like, okay. Really quick point before we move on. I feel like if we get Thrawn, though, he would be at the end of the show. Kind of like Moff Gideon.
The whole show is about finding Ezra and Thrawn. So yes,
From our knowledge.
the end of the show will be finding Ezra and Thrawn.
Probably.
I am beyond excited. So I think we're gonna get maybe some updates on shows, movies,
Yeah,
and things that have been
agreed.
released, and we're going to get. I'm not expecting any more than maybe 3 to 5 new reveals for content.
Agreed.
I don't think we're gonna get like because they have stuff forecasted for like the next 3
Through to 2025.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I don't think they're gonna push anything like they're not gonna reveal stuff that they're gonna come out with in 2030.
Right.
So we're probably gonna get a couple things that are gonna get sprinkled throughout the next like 3 to 5 years. I think.
That's it.
I think 2026 is the furthest out we may see something.
But
You got
I think,
anything?
yeah. No.
No, that's really it. Because it's like, holy cow, this really is going to be a very action-packed episode because we're already at the 40 mark.
And
When
we still
haven't
have
even,
We still have quite a bit left to talk
about
about.
half of the topics to get through.
which, hey,
I ain't
Commander
mad about
Blau
it.
was saying, hey, I would like a longer episode, so hopefully you guys aren't too bored by sticking around this long, because I know it's very demanding.
Justin from Out of the Basement is gonna have something real nice to listen to for the next 2 hours at work.
That's facts, though.
Sitting there.
I do want to say, too, thank you to everybody who has stuck around with our channel.
Yes.
And we appreciate every single one of you guys. Like, your comments, your feedback, people who have joined the Discord, like, people who listen to us on Spotify. I literally looked at my phone on the Anchor app, which is what we use to, like,
Yep.
put our podcast out for audio only. And our numbers for our last 4 episodes doubled in 1 day each.
Yup.
And I couldn't believe it. I looked at my phone, I closed the app and opened it again. I was like, something gotta be wrong. Something gotta be wrong. And no, it was right. And that just makes me ecstatic. So thank you
Yes.
everybody, like individually, like you guys are awesome. But yeah, we, Jackson and I and Jacob joined us We went and did a thing yesterday.
Oh, okay. This is gonna be the main topic. The main.
Not really. I mean, there is no main topic.
There is no main topic.
Let me say, actions speak louder than words. So if you're listening on the audio, let me just.
I'm not going to.
Let me just show you a little something.
All right.
If you follow us on Instagram or you're in our Discord, you will have already seen this.
Let me just say, I got a tattoo, man. I got Captain Rex's J guys on my arm, man, and I'm so hyped about it.
Yes. And then you will need to go into the Discord if you want to see mine. It's on my chest, and I'm not about to go shirtless on the podcast.
You can send me a picture. I'll flash it on the screen right now of just the tattoo itself.
Yeah. I took a picture that wasn't risque.
Too revealing.
Yeah, that wasn't too revealing. That would be technically professional. So
yeah, so
I'll put that. So
we went to a local tattoo shop in our area, and we got Star Wars tattoos.
Yes.
It was neither of us have ever gotten a tattoo before.
Nope.
So this was quite the experience for us. I myself, I'll kind of just share like my little anecdote. I sat down in the chair. He got me prepped and everything. I told him I wanted to do it in blue, whatever. And he starts etching the first line. And it doesn't hurt as bad as I thought it would, because I know like when it's like just skin and bone, it's very painful, as Jackson will tell you. But for me, like I have a lot of meat on my shoulder, so it really just kind of felt like someone was taking a mechanical pencil and like pressing it really hard into my arm. But I started to get really lightheaded, and I didn't realize, but I asked him, I said, the dude that was doing my arm, I said, hey man, like, is it normal for people to get lightheaded? And he goes, yeah, it's normally just like your nerves, like just releasing all at once, because you're kind of nervous when it's your first tattoo. And I said, I'm getting pretty lightheaded. And he was like, oh, okay, man, yeah, we can just stop. And so he brought me a Coke. Like, we just sat there and talked for a few minutes, and then it was just smooth sailing from there. I didn't have any more issues, but I was super happy with how the tattoo turned out. I have no regrets about it at all.
Absolutely none.
How about you tell us about your little 5 you got, Jackson?
So if you saw it on the screen, I ended up getting my tattoo for Arc Trooper 5s. I can, if you want us to go into the meanings of them, I can kind of do that.
I'll do that about mine, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I'll wait for you to do that. But I did a lot of research beforehand, and tattoos on the chest, from what I saw, are supposed to be the most painful. So if you see me on the show, or you're a creepy stalker who follows my personal Instagram off of this, then you know what my physique is. And so if you know what my physique
Jackson
is...
has been a cross-country runner for his whole life, so he's built like a cross-country runner.
Yes, I'm built like a cross-country runner.
Built like a skeleton.
Who's finally starting
Spooky, scary skeleton send shivers down your spine.
So I'm finally trying to bulk up a little bit if I can, which is already difficult enough. But I don't have any good, solid muscle or fat on me at all. So I sit down and I was like, hey man, so I was really looking around online, and it said chest tattoos are the most painful place to get it. I was like, what's really like your take on that? You really think that's true? And he was like, oh yeah, yep, this is really gonna hurt. And I was like, oh great! And so Tommy was telling me about like, yeah man, I had all this great casual conversation about our work and about customers, and like I sit down and I'm like gripping my sides. I had to lay down on a table, gripping my sides.
Oh, he had you laying down. I was just sitting in a chair.
Well, he had me lay down so he could like lay on top of me better.
Oh, okay.
And so like he first like gets the needle in.
Man's laying on top of you. You heard it here first on the 1313
so he's
podcast.
like leaning over.
Jackson likes men laying on him.
At any rate.
Yeah, so like put your arm on the other side of my chest and feel me flex.
Shut up. So he starts etching me. He's like, okay, I'm gonna put the needle in and like start like doing your outline. I was like, okay, and he like goes to do it, and he's like, all right, how's it feel? And I was so nervous. I was like, it feels like you're hitting me with a pencil and you pissed on me. And he's like, and this dude looks at me like I'm crazy and goes, well, that's a first. I was so nervous that I didn't even, like, I hardly talked to this dude at all. But when it was finally over, it really, really hurt because I have no muscle and whatnot. So that's arguably my fault. And I knew it going into it. I was like, I'm not going to quit, So I got the whole thing done. Don't freaking
and
look
pissed on me. I just can't get over that.
No, so he gets done. I was really, really happy with it. He spent so much time in the beginning making sure it was right, making sure it was perfectly straight if it was going to be on my chest.
And then I come in.
Oh, you got to
and then we have Jacob's part of the story.
I'll let you take it off in a minute, but like it was me, Jacob, and then one of Jackson's roommates. Yep. I went first. So we both worked with the same tattoo artist, so I went first. I got done in about an hour, came back.
I was about an hour as well.
Yeah, so Jackson's down there, and one of us comes up with the bright idea.
It was me.
To say,
the evil
oh my
idea.
God, we should tell Jackson that his tattoo's on backwards when he gets up here.
So Jackson comes out the first time just to show us the outline. He goes, yeah, I don't think I'm going to get it filled in. I'm just going to get it re-outlined so that way it's more prominent. He goes back down. I'm like, yo, what if we convinced him that it was on backwards? So he comes back when it's finally done, and everybody on this couch is like, oh my gosh, dude, it's backwards. And Jackson's like, no, it's not. No, it's not. And I use the selfie camera on my phone since it's mirrored, and I show it to him. And it looks backwards on the phone, and he just goes, with tears in his eyes, just, don't tell mom and dad.
You were evil.
That was so unbelievably hilarious.
And at that point, I felt terrible. So I went, oh my God, dude, like, we're joking. Like, it's not backwards, we're joking. He goes downstairs. Myself and Jackson's roommate are like, oh, we're going to hell. We're going to hell for this. And Jacob is just pissing his pants. Just, this is the funniest thing ever. Oh my God.
Because it landed exactly how I wanted it.
I was so scared. I was like, he didn't. I was not even joking. Yes, I was about to cry. But that's because the only thing I could think of was for the rest of my life, my mom being like, I knew you shouldn't have gotten that tattoo. I told you we were going to regret it. I told you couldn't make it. And I was like, I can't deal with this now.
And now you may be asking yourself, Jacob, why didn't you get a tattoo with the boys? And the answer for that is clear. I'm broke. So...
Well,
but his tattoo idea
my
is
idea,
way better in my opinion than mine.
My tattoo idea is I am going to get basically my entire forearm coated in Thrawn's Chimera symbol.
The one that's on the bottom of his Star Destroyer.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
So just because it is probably my favorite books of all time, Thrawn is one of my favorite characters of all time. It's just, and plus it's such a cool symbol. So I'm going to get that done when I get my money up and not my funny up.
It just makes sense to wait because Jacob got a quote and it was considerably more than, what Jackson and I were getting because
it was double. It was double.
So like Jackson and I were getting smaller tattoos and mine had to get filled in and stuff like that, but Jacob's is going to be really time consuming and he's going to want to get it right, and on top of that he wants to get like an artist's interpretation. I might,
because there's an artist there that is part of a band that I really like. I'm not gonna mention it because it'll give away where we are.
And dox ourselves.
Dox ourselves.
But he does extremely really, it's like dark and gothic art. So I wanted to see if I could get his interpretation on it, and if I don't like it, I'll just go with the straight up just symbol. So I'll be in communications with him. So it'll probably happen within like the next 6 months.
I think. With my tattoo, this is my first tattoo. I really wanted it to be something that was really meaningful to me.
Exactly.
Star Wars is meaningful to me, but to pinpoint, I thought for a while, I'll just get the logo, or I'll just get like the Skywalker lightsaber hilt or something like that. And I was like, no, I really want to get something that really means something to me. And so I looked back at like my history with Star Wars. Captain Rex, from the minute that he walked on the screen in 2008 in that movie theater, was one of my characters that I idolized. Even when in the earlier seasons of the show, he had a much more minor role than he ended with. He always was my favorite. Captain Rex was the first action figure that I got. I've mentioned it several times now on the podcast. He was the first action figure I got after watching the movie. And and I posted all this on my personal social media, but I guess to reiterate that, like, not only does the symbol itself in Mandalorian culture mean bravery, excuse me, I need water.
Choking up.
I need water.
Do you want some water?
Oh, hey.
They share in the sippy cup.
Also, I think that Captain Rex just represents a lot of the values that I've come to really hold dear and come to have found important, like valor and honor and loyalty, and above all else, like believing in yourself even when nobody else around you believes in you, or you're against all odds. Like, having the ability to believe in yourself, which represents bravery. And so I think that this was a really meaningful tattoo to get, and again, I had zero regrets getting it. So.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. I knew right off the rip I wanted something that was Star Wars related and something that like was very impactful.
Thank
to me.
you.
And for getting 5s, some of our regs should know, Jackson, you've never really talked about 5s before. You've said Wolf and Django are some of like your favorite characters, and even Rex for me is a really like close home favorite. But I wanted to get 5s really for, I feel like, the role and what he did in the Clone Wars that like resonates with what I would like to do as a future leader. So essentially, like, when I think of 5s, I think of Umbara and then the Clone Conspiracy. On Umbara, he teaches the clones to go from, like, you need to constantly take orders, like, good soldiers follow orders, to, like, we can't go through with orders that we are given knowing that they are rightfully wrong. Like, you can't just do that. You can't be a robot. You need to think for yourself, like, as a person, you know? And so, like, that was one of, like, the real, like, big hitters that I wanted to hit. And the reason I got it on my chest is, I mean, it's like, it's not visible, but it is for like me, really.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to like be there more so as like a branding of just like, this is how I need to lead for like my entire life. And it really hit home for me because I was already thinking of 5s for quite some time. And then like the events at Kabul like really hit home for me just because it was like those soldiers did what they were told to do, and they like, this is my opinion of the events that happened and unfolded. I feel that their sacrifice was in vain because the United States can no longer do anything for them. They did what they were told to do, but they did it because of the greater good, because they knew what the bigger picture would be. And when I lead as an officer, I'll have the ability to make sure people are not only safe and protected, but they can lead their best lives and become the best person that they can be. So that's how I want to lead going forward. So that's why I got the 5.
And especially with me getting the Thrawn tattoo, I'm not as military oriented as Jackson is, but I'm also going into a somewhat military career. And Thrawn is also an exceptional leader within the military, not just because of his expert tactics or like the way that he's just able to predict his enemies' moves, but also the way that he treats his subordinates as not equals, but he takes the time to listen to their ideas. And he teaches them through situations so that way they see what he sees and he doesn't just bark orders at them. And it's a way that he gains the respect of his subordinates and in his crew. So that's like one of the things where it's like, it's a good example where even though you think somebody's idea might not be as good as yours, you just listen to them and then maybe you can help them guide them to a better solution to the problem. So it's just a way of like maybe teaching and mentoring people.
Yeah, and I think, like, along this same line of thought, like, for, like, police work, the values that I've gotten from Captain Rex are the same values that I want to pass on to people that I will work with in the community that I'm enforcing the law for at some point, because I don't want to just be, you know, the super straight-edge, robotic, like, police officer. I want to be engaged with my community. I want to make them feel valued. I want to give people a sense of like that they matter, because they do, because everyone in the community matters. And if you alienate someone in the community or a group of people in the community, chaos is going to ensue.
Tommy wants to be one of them police officers on the Facebook videos playing basketball.
Yeah. Yes. Running it up. I'm not good at basketball, but I want to be engaged with the community, and Rex's values, you know, and again, like, there's a lot of conversation around policing, and I'm not going to get, you know, into real world stuff and all that, but, you know, with policing, I am very strong in my feelings that, like, I can be one of the best police officers out there because I have a very, in my opinion, my mindset and goals with how I want to have my job are so different than most others. And so I want to be a part of the community, and I want to show people that they can think differently than the group thinks. And they can, and same with 5s. Like, it's like, you can think differently than other people think. And if people try to ridicule you for that, you should still believe in yourself. It's okay to be wrong, and it's okay to expose yourself to ideas that are not your own. But if you believe in your heart that something is wrong, then you should follow that instead of just like submitting to it, you know? So I think that the tattoos have a really deep meaning, and it's awesome that all three of us have really deep meanings for our
Exactly.
pieces that we got done.
Because people get useless. I mean, it's your body, and like you can literally
Yeah,
do whatever
absolutely.
you want with it in terms when it comes to tattoos. But I knew if I wanted to get one, I needed it to be meaningful.
Yep.
Because then my parents would also kill me.
You don't want to get like one of those like things where it's just like I just thought this would be cool, so I threw it on me.
Yeah.
Having a tattoo with meaning is part of the story and kind of part of the origin of tattoos.
Well,
Exactly.
that's one thing my mother said is, well, when you get all old and saggy, it's going to look bad. And I was like, but that's the thing is like, because it means so much to me, I don't care what it looks like. It's the fact that it's there, you know?
Like in Samoan culture, they have like those very like big and intricate tattoos, which are like family symbols.
Same with the Maori culture.
Things of coming to like to being like manhood or like events in your life. They're not there because they look cool, which they do, but it's like
They look really cool.
they tell a story.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's what we're all trying to accomplish here.
So on that very deep note,
Yes.
it is time for us to talk about our plastic obsessions. So let's start with everybody's favorite segment, Jacob and his Legos.
Yay! So, if you're in our Discord, you've already seen a couple pictures of this, but it should probably be on screen right now if we can find the images again.
I got it.
But the UCS AT-AT has been leaked. And boy howdy, does it look good. It will be retailing around $800,
Ouchie.
but it is minifigure scale. It comes with 9 minifigures, which will be Luke Skywalker, General Veers, which will have dual leg printing, 2 AT-AT pilots, and 5 snowtroopers.
Dang.
Doesn't it also come with the snow scout trooper?
No, that is the battle pack that is
Okay,
coming
my
out.
bad.
And I feel like that's why that's also coming out this year because
And
it's
isn't
to
there
build
a
up.
Hoth ATST coming out at some point?
Yes, that is like the battle
That's
pack.
gonna be like a complete set to get, dude. Ooh.
So the cockpit of the AT-AT will be able to house both pilots as well as General Veers, which
Wow.
is really nice because people have been asking for that forever. It seems like we are also getting the a bit of like playability for the bottom of the AT-AT with the ability to hoist Luke up into the bottom of it, so he could throw a bomb into the bottom of it. It looks phenomenal. I think it's what everybody asked for. I think this is by far the best UCS Lego set because they really listened to the people when they asked for minifigures, because that's what everybody's been complaining about, especially with the gunship. As you know, people wanted Cody and Jedi Bob, and we didn't even get those. And people are always asking for minifigures because you look at, say, Harry Potter. They do like these really big sets. Like they're doing like basically it's building the entirety of Hogwarts. But in it, there's like 9 minifigures each for like a set that's like $150. So it's like if you're paying this much money, people want the minifigures because that's what people like. So I'm so glad that Lego is finally listening to the community and what they really want. And I feel like the set is going to be phenomenal. I'm personally not going to get it because it's $800.
Let
But
me iterate. $800.
800.
8 Benjamins.
So I will not be getting it, but I will probably be doing like watching a ton of reviews on it and probably give my thoughts on the set after the fact, because I know with the UCS gunship, I remember I said I was going to do a review for it, but while filming the review, I got so utterly angry, I just scrapped the whole project because it started falling apart because it's a bit of a flimsy set, if I'm being honest. It's really a display piece. There's no playability to it. So I am excited to see how the AT-AT fares, especially with it being so big and standing up on those 4 legs. I want to see how stable it is. I want to know that the paneling isn't going to fall off. I want to know that it's not going to fall apart when I try to transport it. So that's another reason why I'm staying away from it. But we'll probably do a little bit of discussion on it when it comes out. And I think it's getting revealed on, what was it? Something about the 17th?
The 9th.
Maybe? The 9th.
The 9th.
Yes, November 9th. So that is
3 days
3 days away.
from this episode. No, wait. So isn't that going to be the day that this goes up?
Yeah. The day this goes up, hopefully that'll be true.
So I guess we'll have to see. And we'll probably post about it on Instagram. I'll probably mention it, and it'll be in our Discord, which you should join if you're not in already.
Join the Discord, we say it all the time.
Discord.
Shut up.
But now it's time for
The Wack Series.
the Wack Series, and holy crap, there's a lot of Wack Series stuff to talk about. We already talked about some with the Bring Home the Bounty, so I'm not going to reiterate any of that.
Yep, that's perfectly fine.
But
We were able to obtain pictures via Yakface via a different Twitter account that I forget.
I'll look it
That's
up.
okay.
You need to give
posted it,
credit
that's
where
the
credit
important-
is due.
So essentially the next common wave that will be, well, I say common because I'm pretty sure a bunch of these are actually going to be exclusive somewhere because there's so many. So we were able to see in box, and even in some cases out of box pictures of Bib Fortuna.
Isaac Wong Toys.
Isaac Wong
ISAAC Wong Toys.
Thank you.
Okay, on Facebook and Instagram.
So we were able to see Bib Fortuna, Pondo Baba, Fennec Shand, Migs Mayfield, the Jeddah Patrol Stormtrooper, that Nomad Boba Fett, Dr. Evazan, sorry, and then Ceremony Leia.
Now, before we go even further, Ceremony Leia is available on Hasbro Pulse right now.
But isn't that the Power of the Force version?
No.
So-
it's Common Box and Power of the Force is what
Are
I
you
saw.
serious? The Common Box is on the website?
I don't think it is.
I checked the Pulse app and it had the Common
Uh,
Box.
Let's
on
find
it.
out. Let's
Fact
check
check
the
on the
Pulse
spot.
app. Fact check.
Fact check.
Yeah, but those are, I mean, like, we already know, like, that wave of, like, Echo Omega, the Jeddah Patrol Stormtrooper,
I only see the
and
$30
such are
one.
going to be exclusives, most likely released throughout Bring Home the Bounty, just because there's so many that were, like,
only
shown
the
off
one.
that we just talked about, like, right now, that they could not do that as a common
They
wave.
probably took it down because I saw it on there and that's why I tried calling you and him the other day because I was like, what the heck? I was
I
like,
really don't think that this is the Common Wave.
I feel like some of those might incorporate.
Some of
the
them might
common
be,
wave.
but I can't tell you the last time Hasbro did a case of 8 unique figures.
No,
in
but
one
that's what I
wave.
said, like Bib Fortuna and frickin' all the ones that we know that.
And the Jeddah
that be
Patrol Stormtrooper
yeah,
just got revealed.
Yeah.
something that's cool about the Fennec figure is that it is specifically a Book of Boba figure. It's the first figure that we are getting for the Book of Boba,
Yes.
which I am really excited about because this is the first time we are getting figures for a show before it came
And
out.
she looks good too.
She looks super good.
She isn't technically going to come out before the show, but we
We-
know what a
we-
figure's going to look like.
we know
for
what
the show.
Yes, and we know what the box is going to look like. It's not like the Bad Batch where we don't even have Echo yet and they're going to be on season 2 basically by the time we get them.
Which, I mean, at the same time though, I'm okay.
It's okay.
But yeah, I think for me, I'm probably gonna pass on Ponda Baba, Dr. Evazan, and Leia, because they don't fit what I collect. I know I get hated on by Out of the Basement all the time, but
his OT
I just
slander.
don't. It's not even slander. I just don't collect OT, just like I don't collect prequel or sequel. I collect a lot of the TV shows, and I collect a lot of troopers. Like, it just doesn't fit what I collect.
Yeah.
So I don't
Well,
need to
that's
get
a
any
fact,
of them.
though. For how much we are prequel fans, Tommy does not have all the Jedi. That's
I
a
don't.
big thing. He doesn't have Kit Fisto or Plo Koon
No.
or Yoda and all like that
And,
fancy stuff.
I mean, I'm gonna get Bib Fortuna because he showed up in the Bad Batch, so
Okay.
I'm gonna get him to put on my Bad Batch shelf.
That
and
would
then
be a good one.
all the other ones are
Kid
Mando.
Fisto and Plo Koon showed up in the Clone Wars.
Yeah, so if they go up for resale, I'm probably gonna buy them and put them on my Clone
They're
Wars
on
shelf.
Big Bad.
They're on Big Bad.
True, but I don't want to be spending that right now.
You know you will.
But yeah, so I was really happy with all those figures.
Mm-hmm.
Zero complaints about any of them. I think they all look really good, and I can't wait to see how they are in hand.
Yeah. The Fennec figure too, I think arguably has some of the best face sculpting we have seen in a while for the photo reels. And I will pick her up especially and just throw her right on my Bad Batch shelf because she looks like, I mean, she literally has the same armor and equipment really for when she was in the
Yeah.
Bad Batch. So there's no real big complaints there. I'm just getting up because my computer...
The computer might die, and we don't want to lose our audio.
No, that would be really bad. I expected that to happen. I didn't think it would make it through the whole way if we were going to talk for so long. Hi, camera.
Jackson said hello to the camera.
Jackson, flash the camera! Flash the camera!
No, give me a second. I got to stretch really bad.
Stretch break, stretch break. Jackson is currently stretching. Jackson is currently stretching.
I'm good.
He's good,
But
he's
no.
good.
But she's a definite must pick up. I mean, really for me, I'm only going to pick up her, like Echo Omega and the Jeddah Patrol Stormtrooper. Because again, I don't really collect the OT.
Iwanawanga!
Unfortunately, it's a really cool figure and all, but I mean, I'll see if feelings change.
Also, can we just talk about how the face scans are getting better and better and better?
Yes.
Oh.
It isn't the shiny faces either.
No, they don't look too shiny.
All right.
Like, oh, the Tamir Morrison. Sorry, I forgot. I was also gonna get Nomad Boba. Nomad Boba, literally one of the best figures in that wave. Period. Looks
Top
amazing.
10 Black Series figures ever. Calling it. It just is what it is. And if you disagree, then you're wrong. I'm sorry.
Yikes! Getting controversial.
Fennec Shan's gonna be in the top 10 too. I'm saying it right
She
now.
looks so good.
But yeah, man, I am super stoked for all these figures. I know that there's classic Black Series fans. Why does Migs Mayfeld have the red armor plate instead of the regular colored one? And I'm like,
For the tank trooper.
yeah, which that's true. Only Din Djarin is the only one who has the red on his arm. But again, if
I
you
don't
don't like it, just paint it over. Or literally, it's probably red paint on the base mold piece. So just get rid of the paint.
For real.
Just be happy.
I'm so tired of just... It's just exhausting mentally to complain about everything the Black Series releases.
I just remembered this as well. I was getting out of my car and I saw that Yak posted, and he said that those Star Wars droids, Boba Fett's, have reached the United States. So we will be getting those shipped out to us shortly.
Also talking about the Wack Series, the archive wave, the most recent archive wave is starting to hit Walmarts in the United States. Last one I saw somebody posted that they were in Rochester, New York.
Yeah.
So they're getting close to around our area.
They
So
are.
we're going to be searching more and more often now.
Yes.
Also, if you are into the Galaxy of Adventure figures or whatever those are,
Galaxy of Adventures.
Yes.
From
that is
Star
what it
Wars
is.
Kids.
the most recent wave that came with Ahsoka, the 332nd Trooper, and Darth Maul, they're shipping in pallets to Walmarts and they're selling for $5. So I think I might try to grab a couple 332nd figures just so I can have like a little troop build in my room, just because I think that little cartoon look on them looks awesome.
And that animated short like series, if you haven't seen it, go to YouTube Kids on YouTube or Star Wars Kids on YouTube, and you will be amazed by how awesome those little shorts are.
It's basically Star Wars it's what people wanted Visions to be. But then they got mad because
Then
they didn't
Visions
get,
was better.
yeah. But because people just wanted it to be what the movies just reanimated.
You mean people had expectations, and when their expectations weren't met, they act like crybabies?
Exactly.
Oh.
Anyway,
Let's get into some weekly pickups.
Sweet.
Shall we?
I think
Do you want...
I'll go
let's
first because I only
save
have
those
one.
for last.
Okay.
I got in the mail. I spent not a penny on this.
Do you want me to zoom it?
No, because everyone's seen it. It's the from the Walmart exclusive Bad Batch wave. It is the Imperial Clone Shock Trooper. You saw this last week on the show, so I'm not going to really talk about it too much. The thing I like most about it is the texture on the pauldron. I think that's awesome. I got this figure for free. I never got charged for it. It just showed up in the mail with my name on the box, and I was like, my sister sent me a picture because I was at work, and I have everything get sent to my parents' house instead of like my on-campus residence.
That's what I do too.
Because there's a lot more chance on campus that it will get stolen.
Stolen or screwed up because our male people at the campus suck and they're so rude.
Truth. My sister, it was like a Saturday, I was at work, and my sister goes, "Hey, Tommy, you have a package." And I went, no, I wasn't expecting a package today. Well, what's in it? And she opened it, and it was this, and I was like, well, at least I have 2 of the 4. So I'm still waiting on Rex and Crosshair. Probably going to get canceled. So I hope
Really
I
hope
catch
they
the
don't.
next restock. But yeah, so that's my pickup. I'm very happy with him, and I have a lot of stuff coming in the mail right now for next week. So
My pickup for the week, I'm very, very thankful. I was in my Islam class and Jacob wouldn't stop calling me. And I was like, dude, I'm in my class. What's up? And he was like, Costco Reeves is on Walmart right now. So on Monday, I was able to purchase that, and it just arrived today, and it's Saturday. But I'm not really going to zoom in on this just because it really doesn't need it, because y'all have seen it on the show before when we talked about this entire wave. But this has been an absolute pain in the butt to get. Like, not only is nobody really selling it online, but the wave that has tech and whatever just keeps coming and going instantly. I haven't been able to play around with the figure too much, but I really like the color of blue that her armor is. And It moves really well. I found out it was on the updated body as well because she has that neck joint. So I really, really like that. I'm finally glad to get that because then I went to Entertainment Earth to cancel my Costco pre-order, and that was scheduled for like a couple months into the next year. And I was like, holy cow. And I was like, it's been ridiculous that wave got pushed back so far.
I got really lucky. I just opened Instagram and saw that Yak posted like seconds ago. And that's why I started blowing up your phone. I was like, pick up.
Yeah, no. So very thankful to
Jacob was the only reason that I was able to get the Funko Shop exclusive Stormtrooper with shield and lightsaber is what it's called.
I've been diligent this past week.
Yes,
checking Yak.
Because I do collect all of the concept series Funko Pops for Star Wars because they're dope. And no other line is doing a concept series right now. So
the Black Series does it for like an anniversary.
If the Black Series does it, that'll be cool.
There's the General Giant statues, but I'd rather get the Funkos.
Yeah, and so I've been waiting. It got announced months ago, that Stormtrooper. And I've been waiting on it. And I was in class, and we just got put in a group, so I had just opened my phone, and Jacob was like, Tom, it's up. I was like, thanks, man. But yeah.
I'm the master of blowing up your phone to let you know that there's a figure in
I know
stock.
that if Jacob's blowing up my phone, it's something that I should really actually pay attention to, and not something stupid.
Because like when I'm never active in group chats ever. That's just like, especially the Discord. Out of everybody here, I'm the least active just because I've never been a fan of group chats. I never keep up with it. I do my best to, but I usually can't. So when I'm in a group chat, it's usually something important. But I think the rest of our pickups for this week we have.
So, as you can see in front of us, we were able to acquire that Imperial 4-pack that wasn't exclusive. I cannot remember the name of it for the life of me at the moment, so I do apologize to any of our hardcore collectors that are watching.
It was a Target exclusive.
Okay.
That's all I remember.
Got it. So
that's
it
why
comes
the Stormtrooper's red.
That makes sense. So it comes with a red Stormtrooper, a TIE pilot, a white Pauldron Sand Trooper, and then an Imperial R2 unit droid, which all really amazing figures. It is on a Teehee body, and our Sand Trooper does have a little bit of a messed up leg. However, that's how it comes.
You win some, you lose some.
You win some, you lose some.
Now, I'm going to have Jackson hand me some lightsaber blades because I'm quite excited to show you this pickup. We had a buddy go to Disney the past week, and just set him right here. And he was able to pick us up the Legacy Ahsoka Tano lightsabers from the Clone Wars. Now, these things are pretty dang sweet, if I do say so myself. They're not at the quality of the Hasbro sabers by any means for blade effects, but that's where we've come accustomed to this. If I can put the blade in. There we go.
So we have the Rebels ones, but we needed this one. So that'll be on the wall behind us now.
So I'm going to have Tommy turn out the lights.
Okay.
Just so
I will do that.
I could show these off. So...
why are they blue?
Well, that's a good question. These ones are blue because of the Season 7 appearance. But if you're not a fan of the blue, you can always, just switch to green.
Oh my gosh.
So, these are compatible for both the early seasons and late seasons of the Clone Wars.
The sound effects change too with the colors. It's different sound cues. Why my computer go dark?
Why your computer go dark? We don't know. Anyway.
I'll figure it out in a minute.
But, so no, these look absolutely phenomenal. They're really light hilts. They're really nice quality. Come in a super cool box like what all the other ones do. Jax's computer's being funky, so excuse us.
This just in. We may have lost the audio.
We may have lost the audio.
I don't think we did. If it crashes, then it'll save it. It did that before one time.
We just lost this part. But no, the lightsaber, the sounds change for each one. If I can get this. So that's the ignition for the blue sabers, and then there's a button on the side that you just have to hold for 5 seconds, and then it changes color. Very cool, very cool. Very glad we were able to pick these up.
Very, very cool. Very, very nice.
Very, very cool, very, very nice. So yeah, that is the Legacy Ahsoka sabers. Very happy with those.
I'll kind of make this quick just because realistically, if anything happens to that, the audio that we have up until now will be saved. So if we have to switch to the camera audio, I'd rather be for this end segment anyway.
Do you want to take a pause.
Yeah, we could actually, and then try to
Take a pause while you try to monkey around with that.
We'll just
So this
do
part will not be in the audio. This will be a YouTube exclusive.
YouTube
No, it
exclusive.
won't.
Wow.
Or we can do a jump cut.
Look at you.
We've
You're
never done
watching
that
on
before.
YouTube, and there will be a jump cut
Where
on
did the-
Anchor, but not on here. How
Every-
do you feel?
Where did everything go? It's just dark.
So I'll let you
Your
know.
mouse is showing up now.
We see the mouse on Jackson's screen, but everything else is gone. It's just a black screen with a mouse.
Gosh dang.
So this audio has been lost.
We don't know that, so don't be saying that now.
Are you being dead ass?
Shut up.
Should
We'll
we-
just finish it.
We'll just finish it off. Camera audio. Nice. It's going to sound really roomy and echoey.
Sorry.
Well, I'll work my
So this
editing
is-
magic.
This is the in-box, not the out-of-box, but the Dave Filoni figure that was exclusive to HasCon.
We have that. We also have to show off the TVC Emperor's Throne set.
The Emperor Throne TVC. Very, very cool. I'm going to unsheath it for the audience. If you guys would like to grab a wing and fold it out.
Yep.
Look at that. The whole Emperor Throne Room. It's quite a cool set. We will not be taking this out of the box any further than this. This is a very cool in-box display.
It's very, very cool. Very, very nice.
Very, very cool, very, very nice. Tell me, we need you to fold that up,
Yeah,
baby.
man. Yeah,
And then
man.
the last one that we have is the Cantina.
Hey, it's that thing that we said that we weren't going to get until we got it. So the Cantina, very, very, very cool. I didn't think I was going to like this as much as I do. But the Cantina actually isn't as small as I thought it was going to be. It's actually relatively a good size. It's not the 4 inches that I thought it was going to be. So the box is really cool. It has that shiny kind of film to it.
Mocks the original Power of the Force stuff.
And yeah, just a really cool set. We got that Ponda Baba and Dr. Ebazan figures already, so we don't need to get them in the other wave.
Yeah.
And this will also be staying in the box just because of how cool it is.
I agree.
But that wraps up our weekly pickups, and I also think that wraps up today's episode of the podcast.
It does indeed.
Thank you so much for listening. You can find us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, wherever podcasts can be streamed, as well as give us a follow on Instagram, TikTok, and then join our Discord. We really appreciate you guys listening. Leave a like, leave a comment, let us know what you thought. Let us know what you think of the new pickups, what you think of the Cantina set, and what you want to see at the Disney Plus Day this coming up Friday. I'm Jacob.
I'm Tommy.
I'm Jackson.
And we will see you all in the next episode. Bye!